I'm not looking forward to this one. End of season 14 review. If you haven't seen the last episode, we were in the championship playoff final against Portsmouth. I think my tone explains how it went, but go back and check it out. Let's make this quick. Yes, welcome to the end of season 14 review here on Dog Turds into Diamonds with AFC Rushden Diamonds. We have just lost the championship playoff final against Portsmouth. Not just losing, but a poor display against 10 men for virtually the entire 90 minutes. Absolutely horrible to play, horrible to watch. Let's just get this one over with. I actually think that for next season, we are not that far off of being an automatic promotion candidate. I do actually think we've got the basis there of a really good team. We just need to strengthen in some specific areas. But let's have a quick look here and see what the new signings were like. We actually made a huge number of signings this season. That's why I'm kind of confident for next season, because we really invested a lot of money in overhauling the squad. We sold Mario Kakiao to Augsburg for 12 million. We sold a young French goalkeeper Arnaud to Everton for 4.5. We did bring some good money in, and we kind of invested it in the squad. We increased the wage budget. We bought in a lot of players. But now we've got to build on that. I think it's kind of like when Tottenham sold Gareth Bale and bought about 12 players, and then a few years later they were starting to challenge for the Premier League and got to a European Cup final, and it was all on the back of that money spent. I think in the future we could be looking back at this season as the season when we really laid down the bases, but we were missing in some key areas, and that showed up in our inconsistency all season long, highlighted in the playoff final. Just the failure to keep clean sheets. That gives you a little clue as where I think we need to improve. But let's have a quick look through this. Peter Finnan came in from Fulham on loan in January. 6 goals in 4 starts, 7 substitute appearances. He has not cost us a penny, and we've got him for next season on the same deal. Really happy with that. I think he is going to be a really key player next season, maybe. Certainly if Salah Lalafi were to get injured, I think he is one of the best strikers in the Championship. And I'm pretty sure Fulham have come straight back down from the Premier League, so they might be a little bit annoyed not to have him next season. Ismael Rodriguez came in on a free after leaving FC Porto. He's worth up to 17 million. I think he's got a 19 million release clause. I am going to look to sell him, even though the right back was absolutely brilliant this season. A 7.12 rating, couple of assists, was a real success story out of the new signings. But I do think I need to cash in on him. We've got 10 million in the bank now. That is 10 million less than last season after we sold those players. So we have burnt through a lot of money this season. I think if we can sell Rodriguez, get in a big lump sum, that can, again, help us just carry on strengthening the team and also just improving the infrastructure of the club. We are improving the training facilities that we're going to have very soon. We're going to have above average training facilities, but I'd like to improve more the youth facilities and maybe even ask the board to build a new stadium, because we do need it now. Hermes Rodriguez came in from Manchester City. You can see cost us, it says 135 grand there. I think that was per month. 135,000. We were paying a big loan fee for him, so he wasn't cheap. So I'm not going to renew it because it's just not worth it for a loan deal. But he did come in and help. A 7.1 rating for the centre back. He was a good signing in the end, but just not in the final when we needed it most. Salah Lalafi came in from Elche for £2.5 million, our record signing. He didn't disappoint in the second half of the season. He's ended up championship top scorer, 28 in 49 in all competitions. Expect him to break 30 goals next season or get sold on for a big lump sum. I think he's got a 16 million release clause. Yeah, he was great. He had a slow start. It took him a long time to adapt. But once he got going, he was one of our few reliable players in the second half of the season. Although he did have the odd anonymous game against the biggest opposition. Luciano Guante, he didn't break a 7 rating, but he ended up playing mostly as a left winger and he got 11 goals in 39. I'm really pleased with him. I think next season he's going to be even better. He will be probably my first choice left winger for next season ahead of Mavididi. I think he's done really well, and he was playing really well when he got injured, and then Mavididi just kind of kept his place in the side. So 1.1 million, not a small outlay for us, but I think he was worth it, and I think he's going to be a top class attacking player in the Championship next season. Darius Dotse, I think he's a really good defensive prospect, the loanee from Derby, but I just couldn't put him in the side. Only played 5 games. I'll let him go back to Derby, but I think the 20-year-old is going to be a very, very good Championship centre-back. Adam Weston-Spence, the darling of several Premier League teams now, Leeds, Aston Villa, I can't remember who the other one is. A number of Premier League teams want him. He's been a fantastic player all season for us, 8 assists. I think this kid is destined for greatness, but I'm a little bit worried that having not gone up to the Premier League, we're not going to be able to keep hold of him. I think someone might activate his 16 million release clause this summer. I hope not, because I want to build the team around the 19-year-old, but we'll have to wait and see. Ika Marti was really poor, played 22 games. West Brom are interested in him. I'm going to look to make that sale. I think he's valued at about 800,000, so we could make a little bit of profit on him as well. Wari Sabi came in from Club Bruges on loan, the young left back and centre back. Ended up playing a bit more at centre back. I'm not going to renew it, but he wasn't necessarily a bad signing, but he wasn't a good one either. Jose Santos, 19-year-old attacking midfielder. He's got a 6.79 rating, which is not that good in 22 games, and only 2 goals and 2 assists. But I actually think that he is a star in the making. We've got him for next season, hardly costing us anything. I think he's going to be fantastic. Keep your eye on Jose Santos. You could maybe look at his rating there and say he wasn't really a success, but I do not agree. Ronnie Edwards, a free transfer after leaving Portsmouth. I think overall you got to say he was a poor signing. He didn't do it. And the same goes for Ben Bailey, who came in from Peterborough. I'm going to try and move both of those on in the summer. Hopefully we can get them out the door and get a little bit of money for them. Josh Steffen coming in from LA Galaxy. He has been probably a disappointment, the 24-year-old. But, I mean, he's still only 24. I've got high hopes. I think he can come good. Daniel Porter came in from South Shields. Who could have guessed that a player coming in from South Shields from the Southern League wouldn't be of Championship quality? Who could have predicted it? Yeah, Daniel Porter will move on in the summer. He only cost 28,000. I did think he might be a decent squad player, but I now recognise that he's not. Ashley Rowland came in from Brighton for 25,000. He is a defensive midfielder. Again, he was absolutely awful, 6.52. Again, I've got hopes that he can come good. I think he's got the qualities there to be a very, very good defensive midfielder, and I think he can offer something to the squad. I'm hoping next season he can be that decent squad player. And Tadley Cloak, third choice goalkeeper, hasn't played, absolutely no problem. Decent enough player to have as your third choice keeper. We bought him in, of course, when Tommy Reid left for Everton. So those were all the new signings. The signings that we made at the end of the previous season, I'm not sure if they've all appeared there. I thought we had more players than that came in. But all in all, like I say, I think we have laid down the base of a very, very good squad for the future, which is going to be able to really come good. I really hope so. So let's have a look. The season's results. Is this just moving on really slow, or did it not register the click? There you go. Season results. So the championship, I mean, it was just inconsistent the whole season through. What was our record for back-to-back wins? We won 3 in a row there, 3 in a row there. Yeah, we never managed to do more than 3 wins in a row the entire season. I mean, that just sums it up. We finished 5th, but we couldn't string wins together, and that was just what killed us in the end. This little run here of 4 games unbeaten might have been our best unbeaten spell as well. Was it? We had 4 games there. We had 4 games there as well. Yeah, it wasn't good, was it? It wasn't good. But let's be fair. I mean, we lost Harry Brady, who scored 17 goals in the previous season, was the championship top scorer. We sold Mario Cacchiao, who scored 12 goals and had 12 assists in the league. We couldn't get a work permit renewed for Ibsen Toledo, who scored 35 goals. We lost almost 70 goals between those 3 players. Then we lost Alex Baker to Millwall, who activated his minimum release fee clause. And we lost Jamie Weeks, who was on loan from Leicester, and they basically played him in their first team, so he wasn't available to re-loan. So we lost 5 key players. We had to recover from that. We really struggled to find a Mario Cacchiao replacement. And I think all things considered, when you look at it that way, we didn't do badly to finish 5th in the table and make the playoff final in the end, as disappointing as it was to lose. Carabao Cup was good again. Beat Liverpool at Anfield. Beat Brentford at home on penalties. Got stuffed away at Arsenal, but no shame in that. I think it was that's a decent run. And then in the FA Cup, well, I mean, we were drawn away at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. Again, no one can really complain that we failed to get through that game. Biggest win, Bristol City 4-0 at home. That was the opening day of the season when it looked like we were going to have a fantastic season, didn't it? Salah Laffy hat-trick on his debut. It looked like everything was roses, and we've ended up not really fulfilling that early promise. Match to remember, 2-1 against Sheffield Wednesday. I remember that. It was an awful game. It was horrible. We had to make a lot of changes after being dominated in the first half, as I remember. We had to make all sorts of tweaks to get the team working, and Salah Laffy won us the points with a penalty. So I don't know why that was the match to remember, especially when you remember that we beat Liverpool at Anfield. And then goal of the season was the opening day, Dylan Jones. I remember it curling in nicely. I'm not going to look at it because I just want to get this over and done with. Yeah, it was a lovely little curler from the right side of the box with his left foot into the far corner. Very, very nice goal. I do think his goal later in the season, when he absolutely rocketed one in from the left side of the box, was a lot better. Broadcast revenue was down a little bit. That's probably because of our FA Cup run. Sponsorship way up, which is great. Corporate and hospitality is up. Competition prize money way down because we went out of the FA Cup so early, whereas last season we got to the semi-final. And match day and commercial down just a little bit. Top selling shirts, Anthony Johnson, Salah Laffy, Mavididi, Jack Evans, who I forgot to mention is now a Welsh international. He has 1 cap and 1 goal for Wales, which is absolutely wonderful. And Callum Parkin. So, some sort of most of those, apart from Laffy, long-term favourites that have been in the squad a while. How did we line up? Let's have a look. Yeah, it has registered the click. So apparently our best side, I can't really argue with that. Sanisalo, Luiz, Apaya, Rodriguez, Jones, Weston Spence, Parkin, Evans on the right ahead of Anthony Johnson. Controversial. Jose Santos as the number 10 with a 6.79 rating. Kind of tells you about our struggles in the number 10 position. And Laffy, again, despite being the championship top scorer, only a 7.04 rating. Mavididi, big disappointment, broke the championship record for assists last season. I think he got 19 assists and 17 goals. This season, just 7 and 7. Again, kind of shows the impact of losing all those great attacking players in the summer. Hopefully he can rekindle that form next season. Awards, no awards for us. An average season. Player awards, fans player of the season, Philip Apaya. He had some interest. He had a bid from Nottingham Forest in January for £6.5 million, which I refused. I wouldn't be surprised if some clubs come in for him this summer. I think he's got a £7.5 million release clause. Young player of the season as well. Ika Marti, signing of the season. That is a ludicrous award. Goal of the season, Dylan Jones. Top scorer, Salah Lalafi. Most assists, Callum Parkin. Very nice to see that. 14 assists for him. Picking up some of the slack from Mario Kakiao leaving. That was a dog's ears you might have just heard being shaken there. Viljami Sanisalo, highest average rating. Yeah, our goalkeeper got the highest average rating this season. And goalkeepers do not get good ratings in Football Manager. So that is... that again kind of shows you the inconsistency of the rest of the squad. Most passes completed, Adam Weston Spencer. Mario Kakiao was our record sale. There you go. I just want to finish this episode. It's going to be a very quick one. Let's have what we got. Have we got our budgets here? Let's have a look at our initial budgets. A wage budget of 200,000, which is awesome, and still 5 million transfer budget. That is great. That is a 10,000 a week improvement on the wages, and 5 million to spend, because the top class high value players don't want to come to us. 5 million is more than enough for our needs. So that might even negate the need to sell Ismael Rodriguez, which would be good. Club vision and expectations. What do the board want next season? Play possession football. Well, we're known for that. We should be able to get that done. Work in the wage budget, I think, should be fine. Avoid a relegation battle, so no pressure on us at all. End of next season, a top half finish, which we've done every season we've been in the Championship. So, I mean, that is all pretty low expectation. I think that's absolutely fine. Where do we want to go on our end of season or on our pre-season training camp? We went to the Algarve last season. Do we want to go to Andalusia or do we want the East Midlands? It's a tough one, isn't it? I don't know. Do you know what? I think in terms of what teams we might be able to play against, I think I'm going to pick Austria or Switzerland. Because I think if I pick Holland or France, we might not get any games against the really top level sides there. But in Austria or Switzerland, I think we might. I think we might get to play some of the top teams in those leagues. So I'm going to pick Austria. That'll be our new training camp. There you go. Lalafi wins the Championship Top Scorer Award. Congratulations, Salah Lalafi. In the end, a really good first season for him. But we want to see him hit even higher heights next season. Let's have a look. Who got in the Championship Team of the Year? Because that might cost me money. It was only Salah Lalafi that got in. So, again, congratulations to Salah Lalafi. Norwich absolutely dominating there. And I think that's Harry Kent, of Reading. So, Norwich went up as champions, of course. So they are not going to be a threat to us next season. I've made a bid for a young player here. I had a bid accepted for him in January, but I couldn't get a contract agreed with the player. Adam Coxall has just turned 18. He looks a very, very good young striker. 13 finishing, 14 long shots. Decent passing. Can also play as an attacking midfielder, so maybe he's that Trecatista in the future. Brilliant off the ball. Great composure and decisions. He looks really good. 6'4" as well, so a real physical presence with his 13 strength as well. I've made a bid for him of 180 grand, and I think a friendly, and I'm waiting to see if they accept it. They're holding off for the moment, but I hope Adam Coxall will be a player with us next season. That aside, we do now have an under-23s. I've never really spoken about that. I'm hoping they're playing league football next season, because that'll be good to try and get experience for younger players without sending them out on loan to really awful clubs. And if we look at the under-23s coaching staff, Jordan Rossiter, who you remember was a player for us in League 2 and League 1, brilliant player for us. Really helped with his experience, ex-Liverpool trainee, defensive midfielder. He's a very average coach, but having an under-23s has given me the chance to bring him in. So I'm really pleased to have Jordan Rossiter in. Transfers coming in, of course, in just a few days' time. We've confirmed Amar Dil, our new first-choice goalkeeper. He is going to be a big improvement on what we've got. I have no doubt. I'm really pleased to have him involved in the side. Ben Holden, that young, well, he's not young, he's 28-year-old Australian, a very good deep-lying playmaker. He is going to come in with very good passing ability and good vision. And Andy Harrison, a good young backup centre-back. But there are a couple of moves I want to make in the window. I'll just show you the tactics that I'm looking to employ for next season. Let's clear this squad completely. So Amar Dil will be our new goalkeeper. Now at right back, Igor Luiz will continue for the moment, and at left back, Dylan Jones will continue for the moment. At centre back, Apaya is the only guaranteed player that I've got at the moment, so we are going to be looking for a centre back. I think an absolutely dominant centre back is absolutely necessary. We've not replaced Callum Simpson from a few seasons back. We've not replaced Jamie Weeks from last season, and that really affected us this season. It was a real struggle. So a centre back is a massive priority. Box to box midfielder. At the moment, it will likely be, where is he? It will likely be Callum Parkin, but I am going to also try and target a really dominant midfielder, and I will want him to partner, again, if we can just get back to him, Adam Weston-Spence, who I think is the future of the team. If none of these, well, at the moment it's only Aston Villa and Leeds now that are after him. If they don't bid, I really want to build the team around Adam Weston-Spence. On the right wing, I don't think we need to worry about players. If I can find improvements to what we've got, I will bring them in. But Anthony Johnson on the right wing is as good as anything in the Championship. And Luciano Guante, I think, guarantees his fair share of goals off the left wing. And Salah Laffy up front. And the number 10 at the moment, what I'm thinking is Jose Santos, probably playing as an advanced playmaker. Do you know what? I might even make him an advanced playmaker on attack. So that's kind of the way I'm looking. Yeah, if I can get a dominant midfielder to replace Parkin here, I will be looking for that. But then other than that, it's really only a really dominant central defender. I don't think the squad needs that much. I think with just those couple of positions there, and with the new goalkeeper coming in, I think we become a team that is really capable of beating anybody. Sanisalo will be on the bench. He will be a good option there. Mavididi will be on the bench as a left wing option. Jack Evans as a right wing option. Who else have we got here? Roland, I think, can be a squad player as a defensive midfielder. Josh Steffen, I think he can be in there as the number 10 backup. Who else have we got? Moreno is leaving us. Hermes Rodriguez is leaving us. Brian Nolan's leaving. Daniel Porter will look to sell. Peter Finham will be the backup striker. Gomez, I think, absolutely can be on the bench as a backup right back or backup centre back. And Luke Allen can possibly be a backup left back for us. So I will put him in the squad right now, but I'm going to show you a couple of players that I'm actually really looking to get hold of. Let's have a look. So Luke Allen there. Is there anyone else in the squad really? There's not really. Hopefully Dario Rojac will get a work permit. The 18-year-old. I've just been turned down for the 18-year-old who's on loan at Karabakh. See, I've got to wait for another 4 months till I can apply again. I don't think he'll get it. He'll probably have to have next season out on loan somewhere to build up the points to be able to come in or to get into the Serbian national team. But I think he's going to be an absolutely huge player for us in the future. Cedric Preetz is still on loan with us next season. Again, costing us hardly anything. Stick him in there. And you can see there that there's really not that much I need to add. I need to add, well, if I add another midfielder for the first 11, Parkin comes in here on the bench. I do need to add a couple of centre-backs, one for the first team and one for backup. And I want to add another backup right back. But I'm going to show you a couple of players I'm looking at. If we just look here, if we look at Igor Luiz, who's obviously been playing right back for us for a long time now, if we just compare him to a little target I've got here, Dean Kidd, he is a player that came through the Chelsea Academy and he is now at Aston Villa in their under-23s. He could well be available for loan next season, and if we look at the two of them side by side, he does look a little bit better than Igor Luiz. Now, they're rated the same technically. Igor Luiz a little bit better mentally, but then physically, Dean Kidd is just absolutely head and shoulders above Igor Luiz. That could be a really good improvement, a really good young prospect. 6'2" as well, which is again good. Just to have a good physical presence there. He's quicker than Igor Luiz. I think he'd be a real step up. So he is going to absolutely be a target. I did try to get him this summer, but obviously he picked Aston Villa over us, which is understandable. But I would like to see if maybe we can get him in on loan. And if we also look at Dylan Jones, who again has been our first choice left back for a long time. Now there is a player here who is at Chelsea. Now, Dave Lloyd has spent the season on loan at Stoke. He has won League One with Stoke. He's going up to the Championship. But I'm hoping he's going to be available. Now, when we had our affiliation with Chelsea, I could have got him in for free, but I didn't have the scouting report in. And so I didn't go through with it. I could have got him for nothing. Now, he is absolutely superb. Look at the side-by-side with Dylan Jones. He is much better technically. Again, like the last kid, Dean Kidd, he is a little bit less capable mentally than Dylan Jones. But again, physically, he is just a massive, massive upgrade. Really quick, decent strength, really good agility. Again, I think it would just be a no-brainer. Now, the only thing is Stoke have been paying nearly 20,000 a week for him this season on loan. Obviously, we can probably not afford that, but those are my two targets. If I can get those two in, then I think we are well set in defence. If we can then just find that central defender, I think it would be an upgrade at right back, upgrade at left back. We've got the upgrade in goal. Yeah, if we can then just find that dominating central midfielder and dominating central defender, with that, I think we are looking very, very good for next season. That has to be my target now. Unless we lose some of our most important players, the target now has to be automatic promotion next season. We cannot do 4 seasons in the Championship and not get up. And just to finish the episode, I'm going to leave with this. Steven Schumacher at Portsmouth, he's just beaten us. He's beaten us with 10 men, and to rub salt in the wounds, he is now the full-time manager. No more caretaker responsibilities for Steven Schumacher. He's earning £31,000 a week now. He's absolutely changed his life off the back of getting Portsmouth into the Premier League at our expense. So well done to you, Stephen. I'm not at all bitter about it. Congratulations to you. We are looking at another season in the Championship. So I tell you what we will do right off the bat, just as the very last thing this episode, and when you come back, we'll see if it was actually successful. We're going to ask the board to build us a new stadium. It is absolutely time. We've been packing out the stadium for 3 seasons in the Championship. Less than 6,000 people. It can't be sustained. Let's get into a new home. So, I'll leave it there. The next episode will be the transfer special. Hopefully by the time you come back at the start of July, I'm going to just about have everything wrapped up anyway, but we will do at least a little transfer special. I hope I can find all the players I need before we even get to the 1st of July, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see if I can get that dominating midfielder, that dominating centre-back, and maybe these 2 full-backs in on loan, and then I think we would have to be serious promotion contenders. That's going to be all from me. If you've enjoyed the episode, as always, drop a like on it to help us out. Subscribe to the channel, comment if you'd like to, and I will see you on the next one.